Alright, so I learned my lesson on buying cheap shit for guitars. Alright, so this video is going to be about the Jackson logo that I purchased online for Weedy Guitar Studios headstock. And it's been a great repair. The damn thing is coming out really nice, exception of one problem. I ordered the headstock logo. If you remember the video of me putting the headstock logo on the guitar, and then when I was starting to scrape the binding, it started lifting. So I ended up replacing the headstock logo with the second one that I had. And I showed when I pulled it apart, like how thick it was as far as being like a plastic. And come to find out that getting hold of the seller, because I ended up having a problem after spraying the clear on the headstock, the rest of it came out really nice, but I had a problem with the logo. And at first it looked like it was going to be fine, but I guess as the clear was shrinking, as it was curing, it created a problem. So I got a hold of the seller, which wasn't an eBay seller. It was just a website that I went to that I found online that sells supposedly OEM type headstock logos and any other type of logo that you want. These are water slides. Now, if you remember years ago when you used to build, or don't know if you have or not, but I used to get into the model building, and a lot of the decals were very thin, not really brittle. Well, in time they became brittle if you never used them, but you put them in water and slide them off. They're real thin. You kind of squeegee them out with a paper towel or some type of soft cloth, and they would stay on and have no problems. But they weren't a thick rubbery plastics type of a decal. They were very, very thin. So when you clear coated over them or something, if you did that with your models, you didn't really see any lines from them. It basically, they just disappeared and ended up being like a pinstriping on a car or something that was painted on. Well, in this case here, I got a hold of the seller. I told him what was going on, and I had to go through my PayPal account to get his email address. And basically, what this guy told me, which had no instructions on his website of what to do, it just said water slide decal. That's it. He says that these decals are meant to go over a finish, not under a finish. And I told him, I says that, you know, it doesn't say anything on your website about how to apply these and the way you should apply them. So he said that it really shouldn't have had a problem with spraying over them, other than, you know, you'll have a line around the edges and stuff like that. Well, if you flood the clear a little bit, you could sand that line out. That's not a big deal, and that's what I tried doing with this. But as the clear shrunk, as it was curing, it lifted a little bit, and I'll show you that in a bit. All right, so here is the back of Weedy Guitar Studios neck, and I gotta say that it came out really good. There is a minimum amount of orange peel on it, so I will be sanding and polishing. It's very, very smooth as far as how it feels. There's nothing. This is nice. I mean, I could polish this and sand it and polish it if I wanted to, or let it go as it is. But this came with a matte finish on the back of it, so that's what I'm going to end up putting back, is a matte finish. I don't know if I want to matte finish the back of the headstock or not. Maybe I'll just put a line over here so this is nice and smooth and doesn't grip your hand while you're playing it. You can still see the, you know, the different colors in the wood, which is kind of weird because this side here, this looks gold, and then it kind of darkens up. Almost looks like there's an epoxy inside there. The end grain came out really nice and smooth on this piece here. These guys here, there's no indentation in the wood. That's it's pretty much smooth. You can still see the crack right there through the wood, but where the two pieces meet up, and you can still see a line over here where the two pieces meet up, but it is not shrunken inside of it, so it's nice and flat. The problem with this is this side. So I got my fingerprints all over it, so it kind of looks like all smudgy right now. Number one, I don't like the way this logo looks. It looks kind of foggy. Like I said, when I contacted the seller and stuff, and I talked to him about these logos and stuff, he basically stated that these are supposed to go on top of the headstock after they're finished, not underneath the clear, but there shouldn't be a reason why you shouldn't be able to clear over them. Well, there's no adhesive or anything underneath these, and this peeled up real easily when I went to replace it with the new one when I did it the second time. Now, what I did is I ended up putting a couple of tack coats on this, and tack coats are very important when you're doing a spray, because you don't want to just go ahead and start spraying it right away. You want to put a couple of tack coats on there. Those tack coats are really, really light. They don't cover, they look funny as well. It looks like it's all spotty and stuff, all right? Well, there's a reason for that. Number one, once that starts getting tacky and you go ahead and put your second coat on there, it kind of adheres itself to it. I did 2 tack coats over this to try to bond the logo. So when the tack coat went on and stuff, and the edges and stuff it would be sticky, and it would kind of like adhere itself a little bit. Now, after the tack coats, I flooded it, and the reason why I flooded it was to get rid of the lines that were around the logo. And in some spots you don't feel lines at all. Like right over here you can kind of see a little bit of a line and feel it, but the rest of it, that would sand out. It wouldn't be no big deal. And in flooding, it also pooled around the holes over here, which is not a big deal. That could be wet sanded as well and polished out at the end. The problem I have is right over here on the edge, as the clear shrunk, as it's curing, it actually lifted up the logo right over here. Now, I could give this a sanding and shit and give it away, but I don't do shit half-assed, and I want this to be done the right way. So what I ended up doing is I found another place. This was on eBay, and he sells a lot of logos for Gibsons, Fenders, and whatnot, and they are meant to be painted over. And yeah, so that's what I went with this time around. These decals were like $8 and something a piece. I got 2 of them. Yeah, they're cheap. The decal that I got now that's coming, I think it was like $18 or $14 just for one. And what it is it's got they're vinyl decals. They're thinner than loose leaf paper, and they have a backing on them. They do have an adhesive on them. You peel off the backing, and what you're left with is a piece of clear plastic that has the writing on it, and you find out exactly where you want to put it, lay it down, squeegee out all the bubbles, peel off that top plastic, and all you're left is with the lettering. Now, here's another kicker. All right, this has an R on it. All right, and it's part of like a trademark. Now, from what I've been reading with a lot of these sellers that make some of these decals, other than this one, they sit there and they say that we cannot sell, like if it's got a logo like that on there or something, they can't sell them. They can't produce them because those are like a trademark product and they can get in trouble for it. So I don't know how this guy got away with having the R on here, but he did. And the website that I purchased the new Jackson logo from says that even if you're doing a like a refinish or restoration on a guitar, they still can't sell you, even if it's for that guitar, they still can't sell you if it's got a logo like that on there. So yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit more time consuming to get this thing finished, but I'd rather not half-ass it. I wouldn't half-ass it for myself, so why would I half-ass it for somebody else? And this is unexcusable. This is just not right. I mean, any other flaws that are in this clear right now, I can sand that out, buff it out, and it'll come out like fucking glass. This here won't, and I'm not gonna, yeah. So that's it. Watch out where you're buying your logos from, your decals, even if it's a water decal or if it's a vinyl decal. Just be careful where you get them from. And if they're really cheap, yeah, stay away from them. So that's it for now. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Hope everyone's going to have a great one today. And to me, it's just another day because they're not doing any type of displays. They're not doing anything. A lot of the people around here, since fireworks in Illinois, or at least my area of Illinois, is illegal, not a lot of people have them. They don't buy them because they get in trouble for them. And from what I understand right now, even though it's like this all the time, the police, village police department, or my town Streamwood Police Department is basically cracking down on anybody who has fireworks. So they're going to be driving around in golf carts all over the place, just looking for people who's blowing shit off in their backyard. And yeah, that's the one bad thing about Illinois. Other than that, all the shows that they would have, the firework displays, are all canceled because of what's going on right now. And, can't blame them, but, it is what it is. So today's just going to be just like another day. You guys take it easy. Have a good one. Have a safe 4th, and catch up with all you guys later.